fabulous Thursday morning? New day, new goals. Let's go. So, of course, I like to do my devotional from the book Jesus is Calling. But before we get into the devotional, I like to, of course, always start my day off with something positive. So if you were able to either write down or you can think of 10 things that God has already blessed you with. So this morning, before you even, leave the door, before you even start your day, God has already, blessed you with 10 things. So whether something new happens today, something doesn't happen today, you are already blessed. Give me, I got my 10 in the comments. Give me, I got my 10 in the comments. So February 6th, come to me and rest. I am all around you to bless and restore. Breathe me in with each breath. The way just ahead of you is very steep. Slow down and cling tightly to my hand. I am teaching you a difficult lesson learned only by hardship. Lift up empty hands of faith to receive my precious presence. Light, life, joy, and peace flow freely through this gift. When your focus turns away from me, you grasp for other things. You drop the glowing gift of my presence as you reach for lifeless ashes. Return to me, regain my presence. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Let's get into it. Okay. Come to me and rest. I am all around you to bless and restore you. Come to me and rest. I am all around you to bless and restore you. So we don't need to carry the burden and the weight of whatever life is bringing us. Okay. So life is always going to life. Everything doesn't have to be a calamity. Like we don't have to always be going through something, but just dealing with uncertainties, just, waiting for, a response on getting a test back, waiting on, a call from a job. Like sometimes, if we get so consumed with, what's going on or we're waiting for things to happen, that can kind of be a burdensome. So he's saying, just come to God to rest, meaning whatever is for you. And this is my take on it. Whatever is for me is for me, right? Whatever is for me is for me. Whatever is not for me is not for me. And so although I may want something that's not for me, going through this divorce, I have learned, baby, if it's not for me, I don't want it. So when you change your mindset to, I'm not worried about if I'm getting the promotion. I'm not worried about getting the approval because whatever is for me is for me. I'm going to still give my all, but God is in control. So when you learn to rest with God, when you learn that he's in control, when you're able to let go and just let God, you're going to have a rest, even if you're going through a period of uncertainty. Breathe me in with each breath. The way just ahead of you is very steep. Slow down and cling tightly to my hand. I am teaching you a difficult lesson learned only by hardship. The way just ahead of you is very steep. Slow down and cling tightly to my hand. I am teaching you a difficult lesson learned only by hardship. Now, sometimes we are going to go through a tough period. We are going to go through something that's just rough. And we're going through that because God's trying to teach us a lesson. Not that we did anything wrong, not to punish us, but a lot of times we're asking for things and we may not be ready for them. We may not be ready for the burden that comes with them. We may not be ready to be able to handle all what comes with it. So God is saying, I got to put you through some hard times to kind of get you ready for what it is that you're asking for. So he's saying right here, hold my hand tightly, cling on to me because I'm about to teach you a difficult lesson. And that lesson can only be taught through a hardship. But He's saying, hold on to my hand. So yes, you're going to go through that hardship. Yes, you may get laid off from your job, but God's going to still cover you. Lest your business may have closed down, you may have filed bankruptcy, but God's going to still cover you, right? What is the lesson that we're having to learn in the hardship? There's a lesson that he wants us to learn that only this experience can teach us. Lift up empty hands of faith to receive my precious presence. Light, life, joy, and peace flow freely through this gift. When your focus turns away from me, you grasp for other things. You drop the glowing gift of my presence as you reach for lifeless ashes. How many times have you gone through something and you are trying to keep your hands in it? You're trying to control the situation. You're laying up late at night trying to figure out how you're going to solve this problem, how you're going to connect these dots. And all you're doing is just not getting sleep, increasing your stress, either losing weight or gaining weight. You're irritated. You can't focus on what you have in front of you because you're so focused on trying to fix this problem that either you created or number two, a problem that God wants you to go through. You can't fix it. Some things, you putting your hand in it is only going to make it worse. You trying to fix it, you trying to, figure this thing out, you're making it worse. You're making it worse. But if you can't relinquish control, if you don't have the confidence that God has me, and God has me in the dark times, God has me when it's good, and God has me when it's bad. And a lot of times we want to think if something's bad's happening that God doesn't realize it's happening. Hey, God, maybe God sees everything. There may be a reason why you're going through this. And the reason isn't always for your detriment. It may feel like it's for your detriment. It may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm all alone. I'm getting the short end of the stick. This is not fair. Boom, boom, boom. But over time, you will see why this had to happen. I'll give a good example. If everyone who watched the movie Tina Turner, right? In the beginning, she with Ike, Ike is just whooping on her. Ike is beating on her. Ike is mean. Ike is woo, right? So she's married to this man who is jealous of her, who hates her, who's beating her, who's like keeping her down, right? Keeping her down. And when she finally breaks free, so she's the whole marriage, the whole being beat, all of that, although it's something bad, it's building up her resilience, right? She's gaining strength from going through this tough time. When she leaves, when she breaks away, when she breaks free, she then becomes this pop superstar, right? But you gotta be able to withstand some things to be able to handle the burden of being a pop superstar. Right now you're having to travel all around the country and this and that. And I'm not saying you gotta be beat to go get a blessing. I'm just trying to use maybe that wasn't a good example. Let me back it up. You ain't gotta get beat. That wasn't a good example. Hold on. I'm gonna give y'all a good example. Hold on. Let me think of another movie. Bam. If anyone watched the movie, has seen the movie Founder? Okay. I love the movie Founder. If you are an entrepreneur, no, I'm not going to say Founder. I'm going to give you a better one. Joy. If you are an entrepreneur and you have not seen the movie Joy with Robert De Niro? Was he in it? If you haven't seen the movie Joy, you need to go watch the movie Joy, okay? Joy is about this single mother with one or two kids. Family is jealous of her. She works at the airport, but she wants to make something. She has these dreams of making something. And so she builds things, right? She just builds things. And so she has this dream of like building and making a product. She goes through all these trials and tribulations trying to sell her product. She gets an investor and they make the product. She invented the first mop that has a cloth head that you can actually wash and take You can take the cloth head off the mop. You can wash it in the wash machine and then put it back on. Back before you couldn't change the mop head off. This is before the Swiffer and all that, okay? So she invents this mop. She gets in debt. She gets in more debt. She gets, a prototype made. She's doing manufacturing. Like she's doing it, right? She gets some success. She goes on QVC or Home Shopping Network, one of the two, and she wins. She gets first she doesn't win, but then she wins. She gets all these sales. But then the company who's making her mop steals her mold, and they're now selling her product under their brand. Okay, so long story short, she got a lawsuit. She has all this stuff going back and forth and her just trying to accomplish her dream. But she had to go through all the ups and downs to build up the tenacity, because she then became one of the number one sellers on either Home Shopping Network or QVC, one of the two. What you're asking God for, you may not be ready to handle. What you're asking God for, you may not be strong enough to handle the bullets that come with it, right? I want to be a 7-figure entrepreneur. Great. Can you handle criticism? Can you handle people, coming at you all the time? Can you handle, not being able to see your family? Can you handle 18, 20-hour days? Can you handle setbacks? Can you handle, you may have to go through a bankruptcy or two on your way. Can you handle the burden that comes with the blessing? So it's saying right here, you have to grasp onto me. You have to hold on to me. You have to have a strong relationship with God, because only God is going to get you through what you have to go through to be able to handle what it is that you're asking for. It's kind of like, you ever seen like a little kid, like a little girl? She may be like 5, 6, 7 years old. Let me not say 5, 6, 7. Let me make her a little older. Prime example, you ever seen some like two little kids in love, like little freshmen in high school, sophomore, I want to get married. Like, I want to get married right now. This is it. You're like, baby, like, you don't even know what comes with marriage. You are young. You want to go, go live life, go find out who you are. And, they are in this puppy love, and in their minds, I want to marry this person. I'm 16. I'm about to be 17. It's the love of my life. I want to marry this person. And I'm not saying you can't marry someone and have a long, because it does work. But 9 out of 10 times, who you are at 17 is not who you are at 27. A lot of times, the opportunities that will come your way, are going to be a little different. You may see things differently. Right now, you don't see everything. Where a parent can be like, baby, I know you like her today. I know you like him today. Baby, you're going to meet you 10 other people on the way. You're not ready for the commitment. You're not ready for the sacrifice. You're not even ready for what you're asking for at 15, 16, 17. So God is hearing everything that you're asking for. God is seeing everything on your vision board. God is seeing that journal, that devotional every single day of what you're writing for as to what you want. You're begging for this husband, but you ride around here with a dirty car. You don't know how to be submissive to a man. We don't have our finances in order. So when you do marry him, you're going to spend all his money. He's going to leave you anyway, right? He hears what you're saying. I need to prepare you for the blessing. Or you ask him for a wife, right? But you selfish. You don't know how to put someone else's needs above yours. You haven't learned how to be a provider, protector. So whatever it is that you're asking for, God hears you. And so when you have your own relationship with God, you'll know, okay, I know God knows what I want. If I'm not having it now, if I'm going through this dark time, if I'm losing everything, if I don't like where I am, it's for a reason. Let me learn the lesson. Let me understand why I'm going through this. How can I better myself from going through this? And I'm calm and I'm relaxed as I'm going through the fire, because I know I'm not going to get burned. God's going to provide. It may be a close call, right? There may not be a whole bunch of money just sitting in the bank and where I feel comfortable. Whatever these bills come in, somehow God makes a way to where, in this tight season, it's being covered. I didn't get approved for that house, but 3 years later, I got approved for a bigger house in a better neighborhood for less money. This business didn't work, but I learned valuable lessons in this business, which made the next business I start I went from 0 to 100 real quick. So on the outside, it looks like you're an overnight success, but no one saw, baby, this is your fourth business. So once you are holding his hand, once you are realizing that God is with me in the good and the bad, although you're going through trials and tribulations, you're going to still be calm. You're going to still be confident that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And like this says, I'm teaching you a difficult lesson learned only through hardship. Sometimes you have to experience that pain to get that lesson. But once you get that lesson, you're going to be unstoppable. And everything that you felt like you lost is going to actually be working in your favor. So that was February 6th. Jesus calling. Whatever it is that you are trying to do, you need to understand that you are more than qualified to do it. All you have to do is believe in God, have your own relationship, and of course, work your butt off. Okay, so I am doing a free masterclass tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, on business structure, asset protection, how to get funding for your business. It's going to be solely in your business EIN, how to market your business, how to get your ideal client to your brick and mortar, to your website. If you want to come to my free masterclass and you're on my Instagram page, you want to comment bank. If you're on my TikTok or YouTube, you want to click that first link in my bio for the free masterclass. If y'all don't want something free, like, girl, where is the paid class? I got you. I'm having a 5-day business challenge, February 17th through the 21st, going over the same things but in more detail: asset protection, business structure, marketing, digital products, business funding, business grants, business credit. You want to comment challenge on my Instagram page. You on TikTok and YouTube, you want to click that first link in my bio for the challenge. I am having my first in-person conference, okay? If you like a good word, if you like hearing about how to turn your trials into tribulations, if you want to learn about how to get tools and tips to overcome your dark season, I am having my very first conference, the Comeback Conference, turning your setbacks into comebacks. With God, you can come back from anything, okay? You want to comment ATL in Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You want to click that first link in my bio, scroll down for the conference. But I'm having my first in-person conference, March 1st, my birthday, in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not just me, okay? I know I have a story, but I'm bringing my big dogs out. I'm bringing out people who have overcome a criminal history and have now made 7-8 figures. I'm overcoming people who've overcome no education, poverty, and are now making 7-8 figures. I have people who have lost a child. How do you overcome grief and depression and still keep going on? I have couples. How do you work together and still be a power couple and still love on each other and still overcome trials and tribulations? What else do I have? I have people just leaving a divorce. You ain't got to be toxic and abusive like mine. Just a divorce where you just get wiped of everything. If you've ever gone through a public divorce where it's in the street, you are a person of some kind of social status, and everyone has seen your fall and your demise, and you're able to build back better. If you had to overcome any kind of rape, sexual trauma, and still live through that, I am getting a person for any kind of calamity as to how we're going to have the tips and tools. And of course, I'm going to have some mindset coaches. So when you leave Atlanta, Georgia, you're going to leave full. You're going to leave motivated. Hold on. You're going to leave with all the tools you need to not just turn your setbacks into comebacks, but to build back better. It's not about just existing in life. It's about finding who you are destined to be, becoming that person so that you are thriving. Like, yes, I've gone through this, but I'm living a better life. Yes, I went through the whole goal is that when someone sees your life, they would never imagine, oh my gosh, you went through all of that, because you are just, living life to your best ability. And you're thriving and actually enjoying life despite of this happening to you. Okay, so ATL in the comments for my comeback conference for Instagram, TikTokers, because that first link in my bio. But it is Thursday. Whatever you are trying to obtain today, you gonna get it, right? You gonna get it. You are gonna get it. You are more than a conqueror. So everyone have an amazing Thursday, and I will, of course, see you at the bank.